Hi, Michelle here. In today's video, you can kind of see surrounding me what's going to be the topic of today's video. I'm going to go ahead and talk about 5 big leaf Hoyas that I really love. Big leaf Hoyas were kind of my original fan favorite, I guess you could say. Before I loved dinosaur Jurassic Park Hoyas, before I loved tiny leafed Hoyas, before I collected Hoyas for their blooms, I wanted the big leafed Hoyas. I just love seeing them grow in size. A lot of times they come in really dark in color. It's really exciting to see them grow. So today I'm going to show you 5 large leaf Hoyas that I really enjoy a lot and that will probably stay in my collection as long as I keep Hoyas. If you like today's video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. That really lets me know if you like what kind of content I'm producing. If you'd like to see more plant-related content, more specifically Hoya-related plant content from me, please consider subscribing to my channel. Not only does that let you stay on top of my content, but that helps me spread the word about my YouTube channel to other reaches of the plant YouTube internet. I had to start my channel over. I was Heron Fam. Now I'm Heron Fam 1. Hopefully I can regain some of the subscribers that I had on my old channel. And if you'd like to add to the conversation, I'd love to hear what kind of large leaf Hoyas you like to collect. Please put a comment in the comment section below. I do like to reply to your comments, so I will get back to you. And now let's go ahead and talk about the Hoyas. I'm going to go ahead and talk right here with the first Hoya. And it's the smallest Hoya, but it's kind of the biggest one. This is the clemensiorum. This is pretty much my favorite of the large leaf Hoyas. And this is the original leaf right here. And it's not really very large. It's only about 4 inches. But as time grew on, it started producing a little bit larger leaf, and then it grew something a little larger, but it was still kind of warped a little. And then it produced this leaf, which, as you can see from the side, was really warped. But then it produced this leaf, which is really beautiful. It's just such a dark color. I love to see the dark color. I love to see the veins. It's got a little bit of splash to it, especially this leaf. This leaf has that real giant color splash. It's got some real beautiful splashing on it. But what makes this even more beautiful to me is look at this latest leaf it produced for me. This is in a lower light situation, and look at this leaf. It's a beautiful dark color. It's got beautiful veins. It's got beautiful splashing. The back side of it is a beautiful dark color as well. If I can get it to kind of show up. Sorry, my lights are on behind me, so I know this is probably a little bit backlit. But look at that splashing. It's just a gorgeous Hoya. This does have some nodes on it still that I'm hoping will activate. It did have a sudden growth, but then it only produced 1 leaf. So I'm hoping that it will still want to grow and produce more leaves. But I'm just in love with the color and the splashiness of this Hoya. And after it produced this latest leaf about 2 weeks ago, I just loved it. So I had to start off with my favorite, the clemensiorum. This is not any type of special clemensiorum. This is just a standard clemensiorum. The next Hoya I want to talk about is probably one of the most compact growers, and this is the caudata big green leaf. Although not all of the leaves are very green, this Hoya is up very close to the light, and it gets very sun stressed. Let's see, there is a leaf right here that is, it's hard for me to lift this up because this is got kind of a weird self-watering pot, but there is a leaf right here that's sun stressed. There is a new leaf right here that is sun stressed. There is a very beautiful new leaf right here that is very iridescent shining, and it is sun stressed. But the thing about this is, if you look at the base of the plant, you cannot see down into the plant because it's got so many leaves in here. And that is because I spilt water. What I did was I chopped this plant up into propagations, and you'll see this in some other plants I did. I chopped it into propagations, and then I planted the propagations into the pot and let them grow up and turn into vines that then grew leaves themselves. So this is one plant. This started as one single leaf. This plant, which has probably about, I don't know, maybe 60 leaves, started as one single leaf. I cut it and cut it and cut it and planted and planted and planted, and now it's in a 6-inch self-watering pot. The roots look very good. The roots look very good. It's in soil now. It's in a chunky mix of cocoa husk, chunky perlite. I think it's number 3. It's the stuff that's about 1/3 to 1/2 inch. It's got a little bit of bark and just enough soil to hold it together. Just enough. I mean, we're talking maybe a handful in a pot this size. Not much. But this Hoya, I really love it because it's got this iridescence. It's also got quite a bit of splashing on it. If you look at these leaves, you will see there is a lot of splashing on these leaves. They are definitely not just plain big green leaves. This Hoya has leaves of all size. Some are quite large. If you could judge by my hand right here, this is actually about basically as big as my hand. And then it goes all the way up to these little mini, little bite-sized peanutty things right here. So this is definitely a world champion grower for me. It's not been hard to root. I really enjoy it. I am interested to see what it's going to do from here. I'm interested to see if I'm going to need to up pot this any further. It will be interesting to see. But I'm going to hold it in this pot as long as I can. So plant number 2 for the big leaves that I really like is the caudata big green leaf. Plant number 3, and unfortunately plant number 3 looks like it may have root mealies. Yeah, that does not look like perlite. That looks like root mealies. Yes, those are root mealies. Okay, so here we go. See if you can see those root mealies in that pot. They are definitely there. I'm going to have to wash my hands after handling this. But this is my finlaysonii. I call it a round leaf, though it has no official designation. This is in a self-watering pot in tree fern fiber and perlite. But the perlite I see is that's definitely root mealies. But this Hoya has huge leaves. These are the leaves. It sun stresses beautifully, as you can see by the leaves up top. But what I want to show you is this monster leaf it has back here. And this is the, let me see if I can get this out of the way. This is the leaf back here. It starts back here and it runs all the way up here. This leaf is probably, see it? 6 inches, maybe 7 inches. So let me go ahead and go wash my hands, go get some rubbing alcohol, and I'll be right back. Okay, I went ahead and got the Pure Crop 1. I'm going to go ahead and pour this in there. This is a root drench, and it will stay in the water. I knew I had a plant that still had root mealies. I just could not remember which one it was. Okay. All right, so I put the Pure Crop 1 in there. It will soak. It will treat the root mealies. It will take, I don't know, a day or two for the root mealies to be suffocated. Then what I will do is I will go ahead and take this out. I will flush the pot. I will go ahead and flush the pot and also flush out the soil. Then I will repot it, and hopefully that will get rid of the root mealies. But even despite the root mealies, this finlaysonii, just from the sheer nature of it being unique and it being such large leaves, especially for finlaysonii, and them being so dark, it's like a fancy calistophylla. And the leaves are just beautiful. So the third Hoya I have that I love the big leaves on is the finlaysonii, root mealies and all. Now the fourth and the fifth ones are an experiment I did with two of my biggest leafed Hoyas. I said, okay, I've run out of room. I could put them in 6-inch pots, but I don't really have that many 6-inch pots, and I really don't have room for them. What can I do that's going to be a little different? So this is what I did. the first one I'm going to show you is the meredithii. And the reason I'm going to show you this first is because you can more easily see what I'm planning on doing. This is the meredithii. And I see some dead roots and I see some living roots. Okay. Now this is in pon. Now what I did was I cut up the meredithii cuttings into single node cuttings. And then I planted them in this rectangular pot. And I put a double ladder trellis in. Now what the idea of this is these Hoya are eventually going to grow vines like they are finally starting to grow. This has one leaf here, and it has one leaf here and one leaf here, finally starting to grow. So what I'm going to do is when these start growing, I'm going to attach them to here so they will have, hopefully, the idea is to have a wall of meredithii leaves traveling up this ladder trellis. That's the idea anyway. But meredithii cuttings meredithii cuttings grow so slowly when not in humidity. I live in the desert, and the average humidity in my room, in my living room where these are, is about 20% or less. So these don't really grow that fast. So now we have all of these, they're all in place. I have some of the stems hooked up already, but most of them are not. They're just starting to grow, like I said, this one, this one, this one, and I think there's one more over here somewhere. But they're starting to grow. The meredithii is one of my favorites, one of my favorite leaves. So I am really hoping that this takes off and this does well. And I do eventually get that wall of meredithii leaves. It may take a couple of years, but I'm holding off hope because number 5, wait till I show you number 5. Number 5 gives me hope for number 4. So number 4 is the meredithii. This is number 5. Number 5 is my latifolia, formerly known as Sarawak. This is my biggest success in big leafed Hoyas. This has great roots coming out the bottom, so those are well rooted. It looks like it may have a root mealy or two, so I definitely need to treat that. I'll have to make up some more pure crop 1. But as you can see from behind, you can see how the premise of this is supposed to work. I clip these on and it just climbs right up it. And that's how it's supposed to work. And I think it looks good from the front. All of these are very firm. They look like they're doing well. There's some wonky growth back here, but I mean, it's to be expected. I mean, I'm having this stuff grow up against a trellis, so it's to be expected that there's going to be some wonky stuff. But all in all, I think it looks really, really nice. What do you think? What do you think it looks like? I mean, is this a success story? Is this a failure? I mean, what do you think about how this looks? Would you display a Hoya like this, or would you prefer like this with the caudata big green leaf? Let me know. So the fifth Hoya, and probably one of my favorites because it's a unique situation, is my latifolia. So there is my list of my 5 favorite large-leaved Hoyas. I hope that you liked the Hoyas I picked, even though, one had root mealies and, one had a little bit of issues. I mean, what Hoyas don't have issues? I mean, you know, we all have some issues, here and there with our plants. I've had to take some time off from plant care that I am recently back into. And then I just had knee surgery about 2 weeks ago. I had it on the 25th. So, I'm just getting back in the swing of things. So some things got a little lost in the fray. Like I have to, you know, do a couple of root mealy treatments, but I mean, say lovey. Um, but I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please leave me a comment. Let me know which Hoya was your favorite or which is your favorite from your collection. I would love it if you would leave me a like if you enjoyed today's video. Subscribe if you'd like to see more, and definitely leave a comment. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And until next time, I'll see you then. Thanks so much for spending time with me today. Have a wonderful day. Bye.